So without further ado, I want to introduce myself a little bit further. So I'm Melissa Harris. I'm a native to the Antelope Valley, born and raised. I recently moved back after my partner Chris, who's got the camera in the back, and I sold our house in Vegas. We traveled around the US for 3 months in our Mini Cooper, looking for where we wanted to live, and we ended up back here at home. And so it's been great to be with family and friends and actually see a lot of people that I've known my whole life, but now get to have a business relationship with. So that's been really exciting. We've been back just a little over a year and things have been going really well. I'm a member of the Lancaster Chamber and I'm recently a director of the Quartz Hill Chamber as well. So on both screens here has my presentation. So we already went into the About section. We can actually go forward into a little bit of information. So just a few statistics about marketing in general is that the percentage of people buying online is drastically increasing. At this point, we're at about 93% of people actually searching online before they buy. Even then, sometimes people already know what they're going to buy before they search online, but they still look just to make sure. And so you want to make sure that you're there, you have a good position in a multi-channel way. Another statistic is that 96% of visitors who come to your website aren't ready to buy yet, so you have to be prepared for that as well. They want information. They want you to be able to give them a comforting feeling. They want to know who you are, what your office is like, what they're going to expect when they visit you. And so you want to make sure that that's there as well. 51% of mobile users have discovered a new company or a product online while just using their phone. And so you want to make sure that you're also engaging people who aren't necessarily directly searching for what your company offers, but be able to kind of advertise to people that you think are going to be in your direct target market. And 22% of businesses are not satisfied with their conversion rates. I apologize for the typo, but they are not satisfied. So that means that the amount of people that come to their site versus the amount of people that actually convert on their site and become a customer or a client or walk into their door, they're not happy with those results. So that's a huge percentage of people that don't get what they want using online marketing, their website, or whatever campaigns that they're using. And then 20% of search queries on Google is with a mobile app or Google, Android, any of those is actually through voice. That's a kind of a new thing using AI, asking Siri, hey Siri, where is this? And you want to make sure that your keywords and your websites and your campaigns are going to bring that information up. And it is different from what we used to do. And last but not least, using videos in your marketing will drastically increase. We actually had a client, and you can actually go onto my Facebook for Colman Media and see, but we had a client who actually did a video for us, a testimonial, talking about the video that we had done for her and how people ended up converting more on her website because of that video. And it really gave them a comfort that they were able to really understand more about who she was, what she was about, her quality as a person, how she spoke, a lot of different things. And it really helped her to get more business. So that's really phenomenal. Next up, we're going to talk about some focus points. So 3 focus points that I want to touch on today, because I could talk about this for days. But marketing is, definitely one of my babies. It's something that I did because I wanted to, not because I really fell into it. It's something I really strive to get into. And Chris and I have actually been doing marketing since about 2007, so a little over 10 years. And we've done different things, different situations, scenarios, and as you guys all know, marketing is constantly changing, which is why I love it, because it's a huge challenge and every day is a different day with marketing. So the first is trust. So you want to make sure that your customers and your potential clients trust you. That comes with a lot of stuff. So I'm going to go over a little bit of that. Also buying temperature, knowing the psychology of your customers and what temperature they're at. Are they hot? Are they cold? Are they in between? We talked about when people come to your website that they're not necessarily ready to buy. So you have to be prepared for that and know where people are so you know what to send them. And last is just to touch on data, because I know that Dave's going to go over a lot more detail, but just a little bit of it. And some of the problems that you can get from those are customers aren't converting, they have a bad experience. It doesn't necessarily have to be online, but sometimes even offline, phone calls, things like that. And then not analyzing your data for optimization. So not understanding what your analytics is actually telling you is very, very important. And some of your solutions is reputation management. Again, having a good experience, people can trust you, knowing what experience other people have had, testimonials, those are all very, very important. And then what is your unique selling proposition? If you don't know what makes you different from your competitors, That's a problem. You really need to understand in order to be competitive in any market. It doesn't matter if you're the only one in town or if there's 100 other people doing the same thing that you're doing. So next, we're going to get into building trust. So building trust is, as I said, super important, and that can go into so many different degrees. But more importantly is that the more you're seen, the more you're trusted. So if you have more ads, if you have billboards, if you have commercials, if you have radio time, if you're in print, if you're in the Lancaster Chamber, if you're at these luncheons, the more you're seen and the more people know who you are, the more trust they have. They understand who you are. They know that you're consistent and that you're trustworthy. And then you want to build that trust first and then sell to them, because I can't tell you how many times I hate when someone comes to me and wants to sell me right out the gate. I don't know what their name is. I don't know who they are. And that's hands down not the method that we should be using. The kind of old school car salesman mentality is not necessarily what's going to get the greatest conversion at this time and date. More importantly, too, you need to create quality content. We don't need to worry as much about who we're trying to impress, plugging in a bunch of keywords in your campaigns or in your website. We need to make sure we're giving the customers the information that they want. And Google works really, really, really hard to make it easier for us. I remember probably even 10 years ago or less, I would search for something and what the results I would get back were nothing close to what I was looking for. That doesn't typically happen anymore. We also don't get repeat information, which is really, really cool, because I only want to get what I want to get and I don't want to read the same thing over and over and over. So it's really important to not have kind of lacking in the quality content. Make sure that it's going to be informational. People are going to walk away feeling like they got something from it. It doesn't matter what you're selling. Just focus on quality. And last but not least is the more you ask for, the harder it is to get a sale. So we used to, for example, ask for people's email addresses when they'd come on your website, and they could get a free download of a PDF or something of that nature that you thought was really great quality. They don't know what they're getting into, so they're not going to give you that information. They don't want to give you their name or their phone number. They want to know that who you are, what they're going to get. I mean, there's newsletters that I sign up for because every single time I get an email from them daily, I enjoy the content, and that's it. And so make sure that what you're giving to people is trust and quality content, so then they know what they're getting into, and when they're ready to buy, you're going to be the first person on their list. And next up is buying temperature. So, as we discussed, are your customers hot? Are they cold? Where are they in the sales funnel? So I put a little sales funnel here. This is really, really basic. So a sales funnel is simple. It doesn't matter if it's in person, if it's online, if it's through a campaign. It's all the same psychology. You want to tell them who you are. You want to get their interest. You want to get them to really want what you've got to sell, and then take action. But if it's just like a date. If you start out with trying to get action before you get awareness or interest, you're going to fail, and it's not going to go to a second date. So think of your customers in the dating world. Some other things are, that I do is I like to probe a little to find out what my customers actually need. What are they looking for? Because just because I do one thing doesn't mean that I'm going to be the best fit. I was talking with Trevor about that yesterday, is that there could be plenty of customers that need radio versus another channel that I may not offer, but I know people who I can refer to get that job done. And I'm not going to sell something to my customers that they don't need. I'm going to sell things to them that is important. Make sure that you understand where they are again in the sales funnel. Are they in the research stage? Is it time sensitivity time? Is it an emergency? We have a client that we sell, or that we get leads for water damage. And so if you have a flood in your house, it's an emergency. People don't have time to search and try to research and figure out what to do. It's emergency. Make sure that your website's prepared if those are kind of services you offer. If they're just looking to look for the best pizza in town, if they don't already know, they're going to do a little research, find out what the prices are, what are the reviews, and then make a decision. So find out where you are in that system. Again, don't sell constantly. Not everybody wants to be sold to. And get them to trust you, get them to know who you are, and again, you'll be the first choice, and know who your audience is. Because if you have no idea who your audience is, for example, I don't have children, but I have periodically gotten ads for children-related things, K through 12 grade charter schools. They're targeting the wrong people, and they're spending money to target me, and I don't have those children. I don't have a need for that. And so make sure that you're not wasting your time or your money, or actually even becoming an annoyance to someone. Because if I see that over and over and over, even if I hide the ad, or get these emails, you want to make sure that you're targeting the correct audience. And next up is data. So data is very important. It's something you need to get all of your data, you need to know it, and you need to understand it. If you don't, we have a table full of people who can help you with that because it's really, really, really important. And one thing of data which is really cool that Chris and I like to offer is we actually set up to where we can analyze phone calls. So as you get phone calls from your website or from different systems, is we can actually listen to those recordings and see what happened. Did you get the sale? Did you understand what was going on? Was there a trust? Did the person who answered the phone give that person the time that they needed? Did they put them on hold for 10 minutes? Were they asking the right questions? You know, you can really find out a lot about your sales process by being able to analyze and listen to that. Another thing online is being able to have an automated chat or a live chat. And so that's something really simple that you can have set up and be able to, when someone goes to your website, be able to automatically have an engagement with them. So you can, again, have a live chat, and that's something that you can have a employee do, just have it set up on your computer, ready to go, that if someone pops on your website and says, hey, do you have any openings today? How much does this cost? What's going on? You know, simple questions, you can get those answered right away, and more often than not, the quicker engagement is what gets the sale. Also, using technology to analyze your data. So Google Analytics is a phenomenal system, and we'll go over that a little bit more detail as well. You can use your own host server, there's other softwares, but there's a lot of ways for you to get your information of who's going to your site, what they're doing, why they left maybe, how they got there. There's a lot of information you can know, and that you're leaving a ton of money on the table by not knowing what that stuff is. The amount of times I've had a client tell me that they have no idea what their analytics is like. They don't know how many people go to their site, and that they get 200 clients, new customers a month. Well, what if they could get 500 new customers a month because they actually were able to optimize their data? So that's pretty much the extent of my presentation. There, is a little bit more information. Just to round out, basically just, we work with a ton of different people. We really like to, our unique selling proposition is to make everybody feel comfortable, make everybody feel like they're getting something unique. And, you should really make sure that that's what's happening with whatever company that you guys use, or if you do it yourself. So let me know if you have any questions. Thank you for listening.